Which one was which? How's it going? Thank you for liking this. I'm gonna be right back. It's gonna be about okay, what's going on? Okay, what's going on? Okay, we got low latency. Good. Let me just change that. And stick this here. Yeah, okay. Anyways, I actually am gonna hit the bathroom. And why do you immediately switch over to someone else? Now whoever was watching the stream is not watching me. Great. Now you make me sad. Oh, no, they're here. Either I'll just count my like twice. Nope, they're here. How's it going? I'm at the bathroom real quick. It'll be like 2 minutes, even less. Hello and welcome to my very spooky Saturday morning stream. Please ignore the background sounds. No, just nothing to be too concerning about. No creaks and crackles of whatever lurks beyond is not for us to be concerned about. After all, there is very little to nothing we can do. So usually, what was planned was for me to stream every morning on Twitch, every night on YouTube for a little while until I got things going. So I switched my Streamlabs over to oh, my brain just went completely kaput. I switched my Streamlabs over to YouTube last night to stream last night's video, and then I tried to switch it over back to Twitch, and I seem to have forgotten the username or password, or I've been completely blocked by Twitch for some ridiculously silly reasons. But that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to switch from Twitch. They do tend to do that sometimes, without warning, without notification, without explanation. And I just don't feel comfortable in that kind of environment. I did set latency to ultra low. That is why I started and then stopped again. I do deeply apologize to whoever was inconvenienced by that. Yeah. Now I wanted to keep an eye on something I've got going on in Discord. In my Discord that you can find in the links down below. I have a voting going on. Video capture. Let's try window capture. And my own thing. You're just screwed, that's what I call it. Not that, not that. Discord. There we go. Let's edit a transform. Crop. Sorry about this. I should have set this up beforehand. There we go. That is what is being voted on right now. What games we'll play next week? Let's actually make the top a little less. 300. Yeah, there we go. Now we get everything in there. And I don't like that being fully. Can we somehow make that transparent? We can't. I mean, there's probably filter I can do it, but we're wasting enough time as it is. Yeah. Then we just gonna do this here. Yeah, now we can look over and see if someone's actually won. That's my game of the week poll. What game I'm going to play for the week. Let's see. Let's begin our spooky stream with a story. The following by Osasha 3. My older sister has a ghost that follows her around for years. I lived with her once for about 3 months, and so much weird stuff happened in that time. All my sister would say to me when I mentioned it is that her ghost didn't like me being there. Things like going to bed with everything locked up and switched off, and waking up in a morning with the back door open, lights on, and the kettle switched on. One night, my sister and I were getting ready to go out, and I'd ask if to borrow her liquid foundation. I used it and put it back where she kept her makeup. 10 minutes later, she'd ask me for it, and it was nowhere to be seen. She accused me of taking it and made me buy her a new one, and refused to listen to my side of the story. About a year or so later, when she was packing to move to a new house, she found the makeup in a shoebox with some old letters. The shoebox was in a zipped up suitcase that was underneath her bed. But probably the most scared I've ever felt was one afternoon when I was the only one in the house, which never happens as 4 other people live there. I'd arrive home from work and headed straight to the bathroom. All the doors, windows, etc. were closed. I was standing in the bathroom, starting squeezing a pimple on my chin, when a feminine voice in the hall said, "Stop picking your zits." It was loud enough to sound real enough at the time. I thought it was my sister, so I laughed and told her to screw off and ask what she was doing for dinner. No answer. I stuck my head out in the hall. No one was there. I searched the house top to bottom. There was no one home. I sat out on the front porch until someone else got home, because I didn't want to be alone in that house. Now, so Ouija part 1 and part 2. How long are they? Inconvenient enough? I don't know. This one's pretty short. It was a part 1 and part 2, which, let's give it a read. A Ouija Experience Part 1 by Upset Username. I started off by saying I have had a ton of experience with the paranormal. There are just something. These are just some of them. So as a teen, I was gifted a Ouija board for Christmas, and I used it on several occasions. Sometimes I got something. Sometimes I get something. Lots of times I get nothing. So here are some of the tales. Me and my friend had heard of this notorious spot near where we live, where people would drive out there, lose service, and their cars would shut off and not work until they hit one of the other roads. We decided to go out there with my board to see if we could make contact. Down this road, there was turn off was... Ooh, that's a hard sentence to read. Down this road, there is a turnoff that was gated off, but there was no lock on the gate. He's Skelly Bro. I know who's the best. Thank you for coming. We decided to go out there with my... Oh, I already read that. Down this road, there's a turnoff that was gated off, but there was no lock on the gate, and it was wide open. So we drove down the side of the road that took us to a house foundation with a torn down stone house. My friends S, J, and K, and my boyfriend at the time, D, Me and my friend J and K started with a Ouija board, and my boyfriend D and my S blazing in front while we girls were in the back of the truck. And we got contact right away. This entity we talked to seemed to be 2 children. Spelling was childlike and even playful. The talk seems to be asking us about our clothes and stuff like that. Then I went silent. And these 2 twin entities, or so to said, were scared of another present entity, which was apparently the father, who's, as ghosts can get, go a right creep. Cold reading. Beautiful. The children kind of kept coming and going periodically between when their father would leave. As we talked to them, they told is how he hurt Mommy, and when said she was gone, he'd hurt them too. Now, we didn't think much of this until we took a walk around the property and found a ditch full of house clownings, kids' toys, and duplicates, and 2 kid-size Led Zeppelin shirts side by side. This is basically confirming that this may be real. We had lost connection with all the entities at one point, and the father pretty mad at us. Can't exactly remember why. We had spent hours communicating, talking with these entities in my friend's truck. And with that many people in a vehicle, the windows will fog up. This is when the poop started really getting weird. On the inside of the fogged up window was one child-sized handprint. Just one. And it was skeletal. My friend Jay, who had a small hand, measured her hand against it, and it was far too small. And the window was not fogging up in a spot. Again. Shortly after we spotted the hand. Bang! Something hit the roof of the S's truck so hard the roof bowed in and then back out. You've never seen 5 people clown car out of a truck so fast. We searched the top of the truck and the box on the ground. Nothing. We thought maybe a branch had broken off a tree we were under, or maybe a goose. Nothing, absolutely nothing. When we checked the roof, 2 handprints, adult size. We were a bit freaked out at this point, and so we all get back in the truck, and my friend S tries to start it, but it won't start. And we couldn't get any phone reception. I was in the back of looking out the window and had noticed a strange mist coming over the grass towards us. Never seen fog or mist move like this. As it got closer, it formed into a column, turned into a shape of the tribesman. He was wearing a type of headdress with feathers, shoes, and necklaces, looking up the pants. What looked like pants and moccasins, and was bare-chested. Took about 4 steps, and it was steps because the grass moved, and I could distinctly make out every detail. Disintegrated back into the mist, floating across the grass, traveled in front of my friend's truck, and moved off down path through the tree. My friend S had seen it too and tried to start his truck again. It started and tried to follow him. We got close to the direction it moved, and the truck turned off again. My friend was annoyed at his truck because it never happens. We decided it was time to go and had to wait for his truck to start again. The truck turned over 3 more times before we could leave this area. And once more, we were on the road again, out there. My friend was truck savvy and could not figure out why it wasn't doing this or what was wrong with it. The truck never did this again. This story brings me a great deal of suspicion because it starts off with they're blazing a trail. I think that's some sort of indication that they may be on the drugs. They may be on the drugs. And they misspelled talking to toking. So I think they're on the drugs. I don't know how to tell you this, but witnesses are currently under influence of something tend to not be reliable witnesses. I don't know how to tell you this, guys. Not that they full on hallucinate at some of these things, but easy misunderstandings can happen. And one person's misunderstanding can feed into another person's misunderstanding, especially when you break out the Ouija board. Ouija boards are so easy to manipulate if you know how to. Or if you're just on a state of mind to understand what's going on. So I'm actually not the biggest fan of this story. Let's turn up the music a little. It's a little quiet, isn't it? Let's see. All we need is for Auto Chest, Osu, VR Chat, or Pirate Simulator to get a point, and then we have a top 5. I feel like this is gonna take all day. Dark Basement. We had to talk about this last night. Definitely Dark Basement. Oh. Let's have a read of this spooky story. Let's hope this one's easier to read. Although looking at the paragraph, it's not going to be easy to read. You know what? I've decided I don't want to read this one. It's weird on a paranormal ghost story subreddit that most of the people say no. And some of them just don't believe in spirits. That's weird. Why the heck are you here? Our first haunted house. Well, that sounds fun. My first haunted house. In the mid-80s, my parents got married and popped me out. They moved into a small one-bedroom house. Next to it was a 2-story house, the basement, which was said to have been used as a funeral home at some point not long before. This house was creepy. I grew up around it, and it always gave me the chills to go inside myself. Their first house living together, a 1-bedroom house. Everything was fine until one night, in the darkness of the night, they saw a tall silhouette of a man. All of a sudden, they could hear footsteps making their way downtown. They hear footsteps making their way to the side of the bed, not downtown. My father could feel the presence of something standing next to him in bed. He got up to face what it was, but nothing was there. He turned on a light to find no one. My parents mentioned that this kept going on here and there. One afternoon, my mother and my grandmother were at the house and clearly heard someone walking into the bathroom and lock the door. My mother assumed it's my father coming from work early and goes over and asks if there's something he would like to eat, to watch, to which she gets no response. They continue gossiping. They both claim to hear the bathroom flush. As time passes, no one steps out. My mother then knocks again, and again, to no response. She then proceeded to unlock the door, opening to an empty bathroom. Noises and shadows were a big thing there that one of my older cousins told me of a time he had to stay the night there. He was left in a living room to sleep. Everything was going fine, he said, until a picture of my mom started to move and talk to him. Waking up my parents with his screams, they take him to sleep with them. Till this day, he claims that those pictures moved and talked to him. A lot of little paranormal activities happened at this house. My mom claims I was thrown off the crib once. I think she dropped me, but doesn't want to admit it. She claims that when I was around a year old and just started to stand by grabbing onto things. Okay. Actually makes sense. I can have something to say about that. One afternoon, she had placed me in a crib. The bar stool as tall as me. I wanted out, and she was tired of carrying me all morning. So, to which my mom said, si tantu ti quirzi bajar bajet tusul. Which means if you want to get out so bad, get down yourself. She headed out to the living room. She claimed she had not even crossed the door from the room when she heard a loud stomp and me crying. She turned back to find me on the floor. She can't explain how I could have pulled myself over the bars if I just started to stand and was not good at it. We eventually moved out. My father brought our first home. We still come around because my grandmother and grandfather rented a small house behind the big scary house. Around 4th or 5th grade, I recall the conversation came up about the big scary house that I used to live next to. A group of kids were talking about how they had broken into explore the abandoned house and the time it was being remodeled. They claimed they saw a black shadow following them, as well as to hear things. One kid said that he was heading downstairs with everyone to leave. A scary-looking lady appeared in the stairway, and it looked like she was hanging by her neck. I think he just made this part up to make it more scary. That month, I got the chance to play with my cousin, and his dad was doing electrical work at the scary house. Up and down, we ran through the empty hallway. As we made our way to the stairs of the basement, we looked down, then to each other, kicked some boxes down the stairs, and continued playing. Second time around to the stairs, my cousin stopped and looked over to notice all the boxes we kicked at the top of the stairs from where we had kicked them. He brushed off as thinking it was his dad cleaning the mess that we are doing instead of helping. As we make our way downtown, as we make our way up the house, we come across my uncle pulling wires in the hallway on the top floor. My cousin asked him about the boxes, which my uncle said, "What are you talking about?" He tells us he's been up there this entire time. We are puzzled, and I'm scared. We go down and stand by the boxes, staring down the basement. Well, that wasn't too difficult to read, but it was a bit up to read. I think I'm gonna make this a short episode, only 30 minutes. I keep switching between 1 and 0, and it's kind of making me sad. Thank you very much for all of you who are indeed watching. I very much appreciate it, and it really means a lot to me. And it means a lot to me to those who watch afterwards as well. I know that I definitely do get some rewatches on this, or post-stream views. That means a lot to me. I'm sorry I'm making this one sort of short today. Well, today's a bit of a day. Tonight's stream will be at 7 or 6:30. It really depends on how well Lily gets to sleep tonight. This is going to be the same exact thing that happens on the 30th, Friday. And let's hope I can get back into my Twitch. Otherwise, I'm just going to be moving to YouTube right now. Thank you very much, and you guys have a lovely evening. Goodbye.